Hey guys, kia ora, whakalofa lahi atu, and no mai hoki mai. Welcome back to this week's podcast episode. As always, I am so grateful that you are here. Ngā mihi nui kia koe. Thank you so much for coming back. And on this week's podcast episode, we are talking about confidence code switching, shape shifting. Basically, when you're in a room full of people and you change yourself to kind of fit in, or you change yourself. I was actually speaking to a friend and she was saying when she's in a room of confident people, she shrinks herself, right? And then when she's in a room full of not confident people, she becomes the confident one, right? And then otherwise it's if there's a bunch of people and they're loud and they're extroverts. Why does that sound weird? It sounds weird. I hope I'm saying it right. Then she becomes that, like, they match the energy. And then if it's quiet, match the energy, right? But this episode is all about like keeping the same energy no matter where you are, right? Keeping the same energy, which is your energy. You don't have to shape shift. You don't have to change to fit in, to be, a part of these crowds and things like that, right? So many women, especially women who have been through like people pleasing, perfectionists, or growing up in spaces where they didn't feel safe to be seen, become, these emotional shapeshifters and stuff like that, depending on who's in the room. And it's not because you're fake or anything like that. You're just trying to feel safe. You're trying to get some safety in that room, and your nervous system has learned that it's safer to match the energy in the room than to hold your own energy, right? But if you feel this, that shapeshifting, that changing yourself, like, it's fucking exhausting to show up and try be someone that you're not. It disconnects you from your truth. It disconnects you from who you truly are, your values, all of that, right? And then it teaches, the world, or shows the world, should I say, a watered down version of who you truly are, a different version to who you truly are. And it goes back to being magnetic as well. Like, if you are just confidently yourself, you hold your own energy no matter what, you will attract that, right? Your energy will vibrate into the room, your frequency will vibrate into the room, and you will attract the right people to you, right? The right people will come to you, the great conversations would be had, all these kinds of things. And usually when you are magnetic as fuck, you repel the people that aren't meant for you. So when you're shape-shifting and changing yourself and trying to fit in and all the things, sometimes you lose yourself, you lose your identity, you don't even know who the fuck you are, and you attract all the wrong people and all the wrong things. You're on the wrong path of life because you're faking a path that's not really even yours, right? So, going back to the feeling safety, right? I can actually totally relate to this because my dad growing up, he was a very strict Nuan man, and Loki he was on an emotional roller coaster, right? So like every time I got home, I was always checking the room, reading the room. Okay, how is dad today? Is he mad? Is he sad? Is he happy? What's the vibe? And then I would do whatever, it was to meet the vibe, right? So I would, if he was angry, it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make things better, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna sit down and relax, I'm gonna, actually most of the time it wasn't, I didn't sit down and relax because I was always on edge, right? I didn't want to get in trouble, right? So you grow up around these unpredictable adults. You don't know what's happening. So you're always on edge. You're always trying to read the room, how people are, all the things. You may have been in environments where you were punished for being loud. You were told to shut up. Maybe your culture's told you to humble yourself or don't show off. Don't be a fier boko, like all that kind of stuff, right? And then you may also have been in groups where confidence was a competition. It wasn't celebrated, right? So then you become this chameleon, right? So I mean, it's always important to go back to maybe why, like ask yourself the question, why do you think that this happens? Why do you feel like you need to change yourself to be in this room? Why do you feel like you can't be fully seen? Why do you feel like, that's the beautiful, beautiful place to start, is really getting to the why, right? But I really want you to know that you're not meant to mirror the room, right? You're not meant to change yourself to fit into the room. You're not meant to change yourself to be a part of the group, right? You were meant to lead the room, right? You are a leader. You were meant to show up confidently in your power. You were meant to be rooted in your truth, in your absolute truth, right? And being so grounded no matter who is watching. And this is what true confidence is, right? It's knowing who the fuck you are and being so rooted in that you actually don't worry about if someone disagrees with who you are, if someone doesn't like you for who you are, if someone is loud and you're not a loud person, right? You're owning your own presence. You don't have to change yourself, right? If you are a quiet person, you're sitting in that beautiful fucking energy and aura that you have, right? If you are a loud person, you are being loud and all the things, even when, people tell you to shut up and sit down and don't, you're doing too much, you're too extra, you're too much, all the things. So being fully you, being not a watered down version that makes everyone else comfortable, right? You don't have to make everyone else comfortable. That's not your responsibility, right? They need to make their own selves comfortable. um and this also, like, I experienced this growing up as well. I was always told I was too much. You were too extra, so extra. That's where my sunglasses brand originally came from, was because I was always told I was too extra. I was so extra. I was doing too much, with the clothes that I was wearing, with the way I would, do my birthdays, the things I would do in school. Like, I had this such a high standard. It was like, oh, you're so much, you're too much, you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that, and we weren't all born to be the same, right? You weren't born to be palatable to everyone. People aren't going to like you, and you don't like everyone either. So, like, it makes sense, right? We don't all like everyone. We don't all want to spend 24/7 with every single person, right? So when you do show up magnetically, you get to find your people, your crowd, your all the things, and you can spend 24 hours with them. Other people, not so much, right? And that's so okay, right? You were so born, you were here to be powerful, to be you, to be uniquely you. Being unique is your fucking superpower. So it's standing in that superpower and being really rooted in who it is that you truly, truly are. So yeah, I would really, if this is something that you struggle with, I would really get to the root cause of maybe why you think that you do what you do, why you do feel like you can't be fully seen, why you have to shrink yourself, why you can't show up fully as yourself. And I just really want you to know that you deserve to be seen, right? Sometimes I think about my younger self, my inner child, right? My inner child's still in here, right? And it's like, if my inner child was showing up and I was literally saying to her, no, babe, like, shut up, shut up, shut up, sit down, stay quiet, cross your arms and legs. No, you cannot talk. Hiding her, right? Hiding her in fucking pillows and fucking, like, she can't be seen. She can't be seen. Like, when you think of it that way, like, how fucking, like, sad is it that you're not allowing that person to show up? You're like, hey, hide, like, because that's literally what you're doing to yourself. You're telling yourself it's not okay to be you. It's not okay to be seen. Shut up, sit down, behave, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you're telling you, you're not worthy, you're not enough, you're not this, you're not that. Shut your mouth, And it's like, no, allowing that little version of you, hey, beautiful baby girl, what do you have to say? Come, yeah, share it with everyone. Is that what you want to wear today? Oh, beautiful. Amazing. Express yourself, right? So yeah, really, really allowing that. And if this is something that you struggle with, I would highly, highly recommend, if you want some more support, come over to my one-on-one coaching, Quantum Confidence, or we have Destination Self-Love, which I am opening up for enrollments soon, which is so, so exciting. And I am so fucking grateful. I am so blessed to do this mahi. I said it over and over again over the weekend. It's just like, I'm so blessed that I was called in to do this mahi and that I get to do this mahi. And just a reminder to always show up fully, in those rooms. You deserve to show up fully. People in those rooms need your energy as well. People in those rooms need to see people like you showing up as well. People need to see you lead that damn room. So lead that damn room and show up fully as your true, authentic self. And if you don't know what your true, authentic self looks like, invitation to come work with me, where we really, really pull that out and figure out who it is that you truly are, how it is that you want to show up in the world, how you want to act, how you want to be seen, how you want to feel, all the damn things, all the goodness. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here again. Ka kite. Koe kia.